Welcome, everybody, to our next class of living lessons from Tanya. Today we are up to chapter 16 in the book of Tanya. And just a little bit of review. From the beginning, we've been talking about how God created us with two souls, and each one of them are fighting for us that we should go and decide to do what they want. For example, you have the godly soul to do godly things. You have the animal soul to do animal things. Throughout the first 12 chapters, it was always telling us what is the makeup of the souls, etc. Chapter 12 told us God doesn't expect you to be righteous every moment of your life. If a person says, hey, listen, what do you want from me? I don't keep kosher, I don't keep Shabbos. It's too much of a burden to start. Comes out to them and says, don't look at the whole picture. Just look at this moment. Could you make the right decision this moment? Then you're a Bainani. You're in between. You're not wicked because you didn't do the wrong thing. You're not righteous because of the way you live your life. But at this moment, you're doing exactly what I want. And that is a Bainani. The next couple of chapters where he says, Rabbi, come on. So this moment I made the right choice. But you know how many times my mind and my heart has so many desires and so many thoughts? Do you know how much is racing? Does that mean every single second I have to control everything? So Dr. Rebbe says during those chapters, whoa. Just do the right action. That's it. Do the right action. You are programmed that you're going to have a lot of thoughts. It's the way God created you. Yes, there is a struggle. What do I need a struggle for? Why can't it be easy? Because then you would be a robot. And it's not about being a robot here. It's about you growing the way God created you. Some people are created very religious. Some people are not created so religious. But everybody has within them struggles. The last chapter that we had wasn't so much just about struggles, but the last chapter is that the Alter Rebbe coins a phrase. Do you want to be considered a servant of God? Then you have to work hard. For example, a person who doesn't have to work hard at all, and everything comes easy, you're not a servant of God. You're serving God, but you're not a servant of God. What's the difference? A servant of God says, this bothers me. I wish I can be better. And you work on yourself. The Alter Rebbe loves, the Tanya loves, the more that you think about who you are and what you're doing in life, and you work on yourself to improve yourself, that is an oived. That is loved. Why? Because you're looking at yourself, it's not enough status quo. I really, really want to go and be better. We are now able to go to the next chapter. And in chapter 16, we're going to have to ask a huge question here. And the question is, Rabbi, I'm willing to do the mitzvah. I'm doing it. But the love and the happiness and how do you expect me to have constant love for God? And let's be honest, Rosh Hashanah is coming, Yom Kippur is coming. They weigh heavy on my head. Can I be excited about Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur? I will do it. I will. Of course I'm going to go to shul. But all this cooking and all this sitting at services, what do you want from me? You want me to love God, that it should be like, woohoo! The Alter Rebbe is going to right now address that each one of us want to do the right thing. But are we doing it because I got to do it? Or are you doing it like, wow, I can't wait? Do you know how hard it is to be on the level of I can't wait? Let's see how the Alter Rebbe addresses this on page 104 in our book. Look on the top of page 104, it says, even if a Jewish person, their mind, is incapable of creating a burning love for God, that is felt so strong in your heart, but only senses, I want to serve God. I want to do what's right. This awareness, even though it's just a little bit, is wonderful because you wanting to serve God is already being infused in your thoughts, in your speech, in your action, that I want to serve God. So there's already a little bit of a desire of wanting to serve God and do the right thing. Your job is, don't worry this moment. Don't think there's something wrong with you or bad with you. You're not a good Jew because I'm not all fired up. Don't worry. You do what you got to do. God will take care of the rest. Let me give you an example. It says over here, when a good friend, very good friend, or a person in your family that you love dearly, you love hanging out with them, if they ask you for a favor, you look at, of course, you're married, you're dating. I mean, come on. He's asking me for a favor. She's asking me for a favor. Of course. So you're all excited, full of alacrity. I want to go and do because I love you. But what happens if a stranger asks you for a request and wants a favor from you? So being that you want to do a mitzvah, a person's asking, I don't know who you are. So most of us does not have the, woohoo, I'll help you. Is there something wrong? And what is the difference between the two? The answer is very simple. Someone you love and someone you understand and you appreciate, you have a lot more emotion going on within you. But when somebody is a stranger, it's hard to get. So how do you get to be, I want to do the mitzvah with love and passion when it's not, I'm not feeling it right now. And you know how many Jews do mitzvah and they're saying, I'm not feeling it. In fact, many Jews do mitzvah and they say they're not feeling it. Eventually they say, if I'm not feeling it, it's becoming a burden. And some people may, God forbid, move from Judaism. So what can you do to get into the feeling of it and enjoying to do any mitzvah that God asks of you? So too, when God asks you to do a mitzvah, when it comes to us serving Hashem, it should not be done in a cold and robotic and uncaring way. Unfortunately, many people, that is a level, which is okay. At least you're doing the mitzvah. You're staying connected. You know, many times we're not happy in a classroom. We don't really like the teacher. Or there is a exercise class. I don't like the teacher. I'm not really into this exercise. But you keep on doing it. Why? Because you know at the end of the day it's good for you. You want to stay a connection and you're exercising. Maybe tomorrow there'll be a different instructor. But right now I need to stay connected in my work program. So too also, I may not be excited in my actions of Judaism. But I want to stay connected with God in every which way. So, rather, we have to find a way how to get excited. Really, Rabbi, you think I can just turn the button on and off? You think I can just go and say, woohoo! Yay! I'm going to sit a whole day at services on Yom Kippur, wishing I had a tea, something. You expect me to be excited about it? Well, God does. But for right now, we understand the issue. Although we may not be currently capable of performing any mitzvah with raging passion and love, nevertheless, we must remember the mitzvah you're doing, don't go and say, ugh. Don't go and say, oi. Turn the oi into a joy. Meaning, okay, I am not feeling a burden that I have to do Judaism. Feel at least I'm a Jew and I'm proud to be Jewish and this is my way to connect to God. I'm doing it. Do it with a smile. Doesn't mean you're going woohoo. It means like I'm not complaining inside me. You just do that level, God will take over from there. What does that mean, God will take over? We'll get to that in a moment. But how do I get a little bit of passion in me? The very first thing is that what you should do is think about it. God creates the heaven and the earth. And as we learned that this world doesn't just run on autopilot, but God recreates the world every single second. All the billions of galaxies, all the billions of whatever is out there. Not only that, God takes care of every little ant. God takes care of every little guppy. God takes care of every little fish. God takes care of every little plant that is growing, whether in Latin America, South Africa, America, Israel, under the ocean, to make sure that this snail and this fish and that ant and that tarantula should all be getting the food that they need. And this big God that is able to take care of all of this in this vast universe, taking care of me. Pretty cool. This big God that you're unrelatable to, that God you would assume is so busy, is taking care of you. It's pretty cool. So that relationship, even though God is way beyond anything that you could be, but the fact that God says to you, you, do me a favor. Hear the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. That in itself is, God, you got it. But not only that, but because God asked of you to do it, you're feeling, wow, I feel privileged. I'll give you an example. Imagine the brilliant genius Albert Einstein, whose thoughts are way beyond the average human being. Now, there are a lot of people that would love to be close to Albert Einstein, but he was very reclusive. He didn't want to be with anybody. So people are always trying, can I get something from Albert Einstein? Can I get some attention from Albert Einstein? Maybe he can explain something. Maybe he can teach me something. Everybody who is in the field of Albert Einstein would love to have a relationship, and they yearn for it. One day, in a taxi, Albert Einstein's talking to the cab driver, and he says, let me ask you, how much do you get paid being a cab driver? He said, a certain amount of money. He says, do me a favor. I will pay you all year to be my chauffeur. Wherever I go, you go. And not only that, but do me a favor. These are my bags. Just carry it with me. When I need something, you're sitting next to me, I'll just ask, here, please give this to me. All of a sudden, you're feeling, whoa. Albert Einstein wants me to be so close to him? It means I'll hear all of his conversations? Wow, how privileged I am. Now, do you know how many people would love to have that position? But people are going to go and say, but why him? He doesn't understand the greatness of Albert Einstein. He's not as... It's a waste. No, it's not. Albert Einstein chose that person and wants that person to be his personal butler, chauffeur, secretary, to be close with him all the time. So too is it with the Jewish people. There are billions and billions of people in this world. There's billions of creations in this world. And God chose me. Now, God is way beyond anything I could possibly be. And God said, I want you to be my buddy, my BFF. And I'll give you what you need. I'll pay your salary. Rosh Hashanah, you'll be blessed. Could you do me a favor? Just do a few things for me. Anything you want. I'm next to you, Albert Einstein. How much more so a Jew should feel near God. I am from the chosen. I'm not going to walk around with an ego. Because then all of a sudden, like Albert Einstein will walk over to this guy. Whoa. What are you walking around with ego? What are you telling everybody? What are you bragging for that you're my secretary? I just need you to be near me. Do your job. That doesn't mean he can't be happy inside. Doesn't mean that he can't go and feel, va-va-va-voom. I feel so good that I have this privileged relationship with Albert Einstein. So too with the Jewish people. God chose me. I hear the shofar. I was asked to put on tefillin. The more you contemplate this wonderful relationship that God asked for you and God to be in, all of a sudden you recognize, wow, you chose me. Now, many people of the world may go into like this, I wish I could have. I get it. But I can't go around bragging. I'm a Jew. Nah, you can't do that. You have to be a light to the world. You have to show everybody, because I am close to God, this is the way I behave. So the more you contemplate this, the more you realize how privileged I am. I may not understand everything that I'm doing. That can come with time. But for right now, it's not just, okay, I'm doing Rosh Hashanah because God asked me. Now I'm doing Rosh Hashanah. I may not understand everything, but wow, you asked me to blow shofar for blessing, not only for me, my family, the Jewish people, for the whole world. That already arouses a passion. I can't wait to do it. And the more you recognize how much God really does for you, even though he's taking care of the whole world, your relationship, he becomes more like a BFF. And the more you contemplate this, you go from like, I don't feel much, to I'm feeling really good. I love this relationship. Let us continue. When we do mitzvah, there's another thing here. We want our mitzvahs to fly high. We don't want it to just go, I did a mitzvah. We want it to go and flap. We want it to have passion. We want it to be able to be exciting and to go up to the world, up to God, etc., and make a big imprint into this world. It's very simple. Just like a boyfriend and a girlfriend. Imagine, I'm going to take the guy because it's harder for him to do this. Imagine your girlfriend, it's her birthday, and you go out and you buy a beautiful present. Now, the hardest thing for a guy is, I have to get it wrapped, and I have to put a bow on it, and I have to do this, and I have to do that. There's so many things. To the girl, it may come natural. But for the guy, what is he thinking about? He is thinking about one thing. The moment she sees what I give her, she'll see all the thought that went into it. And believe me, what's greater than the present to the girl? Knowing that my guy planned this and thought, and he did it himself. Wow. So too between you and God. Of course he'll do the mitzvah. That's the present. But God recognizes that you went out of your way. And you said like this, I don't just want to go to Rosh Hashanah here, a new shofar. I'm going to get a new outfit. There's nothing wrong getting a new outfit. It's holiday. I'm going to make a beautiful dinner. I'm going to make a beautiful lunch. I'm not just going to get an apple. I'm going to get a beautiful apple. Some way we dip it into the honey. Not any honey. We're going to make a jar if we have the money to make it look beautiful on the table. All of a sudden you start gift wrapping your whole house, your whole action. God goes and says, I saw you did the apple dipped in honey. I saw you did the shofar. But look what you did to gift wrap the mitzvah. This is flying high. So when the girl sees the present, the girl goes like this, OMG. And the guy just says, I just want you to know, I did this. So if it's a little sloppy, and the girl goes, are you kidding me? The fact that you wrapped it and you didn't go pay $5 for someone to do it, that to me is worth everything, because your heart was in the gift. Not just the gift in the inside, but even in the wrapping. So too also, you and I, we can turn whatever we do for Judaism. Instead of just getting, like on Hanukkah, just an example. Some people have a menorah, they put the candles in, and they go, Baruch Melech, they say the blessings, or they sing it, Baruch Atah Hashem, and then they take the shams, they go, 1, 2, and they rush through the whole lighting of the menorah. Other people go, okay, this was lit. They do it slower. Instead of going, Ma, so Yeshu Asi, they go, Ma, so Yeshu Asi. They sing the song. And then all of a sudden they make around the table a little latkes, or they make whatever it is. And even if you're single, you can go and say, you know what, I prepared. I went to Chabad.org and I found an article about the greatness of Hanukkah. And while the candles are burning, you know what, God? I'm going to sit by your beautiful mitzvah candles, and I'm going to read on my phone a beautiful thought about Hanukkah. So first of all, you're doing Hanukkah, but you made Hanukkah beautiful with the extra trimming. I'm going to learn something. So if you're by yourself, it's a beautiful way to add to the trimming. If there's other people there, there's so many ways to make it exciting. And God looks from above and God says, look how beautiful you're doing. Most people can just go and say, I did it. Comes this chapter, and Alter Rebbe is saying I know you can do it, and you still kept your connection. You still do what you have to do. You're still doing your exercise. You're part of the program. But if you put some thought into it, the mitzvah starts flying high, has wings, and flies. That's your passion. That's your action. That turns the connection between you and God from, it's a cool connection, as it would turn your relationship with your girlfriend, it was very nice, into, wow, look what you did for me. God just said, light the Hanukkah menorah. God just said, go hear the shofar. But look at the trimmings that you did to make this mitzvah look more beautiful in the way you acted, the way you came. God says, this is what you did for me. That are your wings. And it's possible for you and I. It's not too hard to go and add a little passion. So sometimes you see these rabbis or these regular Jewish people, they come to a holiday, they go like this, I can't wait. And you're looking at them and say, I can't wait. It's all about changing your house and Passover and dishes and food. Come on, it's such hard work. Well, you're right. It is a lot of work. So you're going to do it. Why? Because this is what God asks of me. Are you serving God like he's a stranger? I'm doing it because I want a relationship with you one way or another. Or you're doing it because, whoa, God, you and me, we're tight. We're BFFs. I'm not just going to turn over my kitchen and get the dishes out and everything. I'm going to get such roasts and chicken and make such kosher for Passover food. I clean my house. The table is sparkling. If I have the money, I'll get something in silver so it looks even much more beautiful at the Seder. This is what Jews do because I'm in a love affair with God. And the more you think about the greatness of God and what God does for you, you turn around and say, and Albert Einstein chose me to be the guy to carry his burden? Whoa! And God turns to me and says, be the light for me on this world and make this world better. Whoa! It really, really is good. So basically, what God is saying, what the Alter Rebbe is saying here, what God is saying to you is, put some desire and passion into what you're doing. And God will take over the rest. He'll be excited. There's a great story of the holy rabbi, Rabbi Hanina ben Doisa, which is found on page 106. Rabbi Hanina ben Doisa, he wanted to give a present to the Holy Temple, but he didn't have much money. So what did he do? He was too poor to go out and buy anything. One day he found this large, beautiful stone. He said, that's it. I can finally bring something to beautify the Holy Temple. So what did he do? He went out and got some cutting tools. And he made a beautiful design on this stone. But then he realized it takes 5-10 people to carry this. How am I going to bring it from here to there? So what did he do? He didn't have money to rent people to help him. So what he did was he started pushing. He's not going nowhere. God made a miracle. God picked up the rock and Rabbi Hanina ben Doisa and placed it down. Where? By the Holy Temple. And the Kohanim and the Levim, they said, whoa, what a beautiful stone. This is a beautiful decorative stone that we can put over here that makes God's house look even better. You do your job, and God will pick you up and take care of the rest. You know, it's still at the end of the day, we sometimes revert back. With all this love, you ever noticed? We loved Rosh Hashanah. We were inspired Yom Kippur. Sukkot was fantastic. Simchas Torah, we danced. And then all of a sudden it comes to the months of November. What happened to all that excitement? Well, we get it. And we start looking at ourselves, I'm still me in this physical body. And we go back, we didn't have time to exercise during Rosh Hashanah and Kippur and Sukkot as often. We didn't have time to go out to dinners as much as we wanted to because we were busy eating dinners with families and friends, etc. Now we're back to our regular physical routine, the body focus. What now? I mean, am I a ping pong ball? Comes the Alter Rebbe and says, no. You're a human being. You have a brain. Keep on thinking, even during the cold winter months. Even when you are planning nothing, there's no holiday coming up. Keep thinking about God. Learn of Torah. Keep thinking about God. Because the more you think about God, that relationship stays good. It's like a boy and a girl constantly texting each other. It's a husband and wife constantly in communication with each other. I don't want to leave go of this wonderful relationship that we have. Even though there's no anniversary coming up, there's no birthday coming up, it's a regular day. You can turn a regular into a most positive. Each one of us must recognize that this is towards Judaism, but this can also be in your personal life. Many of us, we're in our own personal depression. We're in our own personal, I don't have the mood to get up and go do the work. I do the work, doesn't anybody care, etc. You can't go through life that way. It'll drain you, and it can get you into a deep depression. So you got to start asking, why did God give me this job? What is so special about my tools? How can I use my tools that God gave me to go and help another person? See, if it's just about me, then you're starting to ask yourself, all right, so if it's only about me, it's very hard to satisfy yourself on a constant basis because it has to be always about me. But when you take what God gave you and you uplift it and you go and you serve it for the community with the light of Judaism, because that's what's oozing from you too, you're a happy person. Why? Because it's true, every single day I go to work, it's the same routine. But I know my purpose of being there. I can talk to people, I can do this, and all of a sudden I become an asset to people's lives. Instead of just sitting there, I don't want to do anything with anybody. Comes God and says, no, make relationships. Figure out the purpose of why you're there and create a place where I can be. This way, even in your mundane work, you're still having your connection to God. It's that simple. But we do have, unfortunately, an animal soul that tries to distract you. Because when you're happy, you're usually doing something for God. When you're unhappy, you got to eat, you got to drink, you got to take painkillers, and it got you. It's not worth it. Comes the Alter Rebbe in this beautiful chapter 16 and says, I know it's hard to stay motivated, but if you use your mind about the greatness of what you are, and God chose you, and He does so much for you, He takes care of your paycheck, and all He asks is to do this mitzvah. You're happy. Why? I feel purpose. I feel a relationship. I feel my mundane is uplifted. To be the chauffeur and the book schlepper of Albert Einstein. How beautiful it is to be a Jew. God bless you all, and I'll see you at the next class of Living Lessons from Tanya.